Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Shai. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone who rule well, and shalom to the hopeful elect. Now, it's an article from the Sun newspaper. It reads, Steve the cyborg, an inventor, has fitted himself with an implant which replaces car keys, and he says the future is here, okay? And this future that's here is really the mark of the beast is here, because that's according to prophecy written in the book of Revelations, the 13th chapter. Okay, basically, we're in the time of the end, man. There's a few major prophecies that need to be, play out on this earth, and the mark of the beast being one of the key prophecies, as well as World War III, the return of Yahweh Shai, which all go hand in hand, okay? So we're at the end. Britt Buffon no longer needs car and house keys after injecting cyborg technology into his hand. Okay, and that's why they're saying it's cyborg. They ain't saying demonic, Masonic technology, because they're trying to sell it to the people. A British inventor has implanted himself with a microchip which lets him open his front door, get into his office, and even start his car. Steve Northam, 33, has had the chip, which is about the size of a grain of rice, implanted between his thumb and finger. Okay, and that's true to prophecy written in the book of Revelation 13 about the chip, the mark being placed in a man's, hand or head. So it reads on. He think there's nothing scary about a future where we're all fitted with cyborg implants, but his wife has refused to join in, and still fumbles around with car keys rather than joining Steve's brave new world. Okay, now they're making it seem like it's a great task for his wife just to find her car keys, just to open the car, man. But Steve's going into the brave new world. What's the brave new world? It's the so-called the Rothschilds, the banking elites, New World Order, man. Okay, he's so keen on implants that he's offering an implantation services for British businesses and individuals. So he's trying to sell this to all the different businesses and individuals around Britain. Okay, so he's basically an ambassador for the mark of the beast, for Satan, all right? He has teamed up with Dr. Jeff Watson, a consultant anesthesiologist at the Royal Hampshire County Hospital in Winchester, to ensure the implant procedure is carried out to a medical standard. Okay. Northam's new company, Biotech, is the first in the UK to offer human implantable technology via professional medical procedures. Now, what you got to remember is there's an article that came out in the UK, one of the UK papers, I can't remember which one, but basically they broke it down and they said, look, in 10 years, everyone's going to get chipped. And then you had the thing with NBC, I believe, over in America, and they said in 10 years' time, everyone's going to get chipped. So basically, this technology, I believe the English one was 2016, and the American one was 2006, the British one, 2007, the American one. But this is the same time, man. Okay? So they're moving to forward their agenda according to when they said they were going to do it before, man. Okay? So, read that part again. Northam's new company, Biotech, is the first in the UK to offer human implantable technology via professional medical procedures. He said the technology is similar to the microchips implanted inside cats and dogs. An implantable procedure takes just 30 seconds. Okay, and they show you that's the cannula, which they use to implant the RFID chips into the people. Okay. Reading on, it says, it takes around a day for the locks to be changed on houses and cars at a price of about £300 each. The married father of one now has technology fitted to both his home and his BMW Z4, which starts with his hand when his hand is on the wheel. The married father of one now has technology fitted to both his home and his BMW Z4, which starts when his hands is on the wheel. Meanwhile, his primary school teacher wife, Becky, 30, must use a fob to get into their home as she is scared of needles. He said it's out of choice. She's not interested in it. So she has a normal key fob to get in the house. She thinks it's a bit freaky and she thinks it's a bit mad. And that's like the most of the people out there, when it comes to this RFID technology, they do think it's, well, many of the people think it's out there, okay? But then you're going to have people that they're basically readying the people through different procedures. One being, this is the initial part that, is handy, it's cool and futuristic. But then they're going to, market the angle of the medical market, being used for medicine and whatnot, so you don't have to go and see your doctor as often. They can monitor your bodily levels and all that kind of stuff. And there's many, they can attack from a banking angle as well. Use like cryptocurrencies and things like that. They may have an incentive where they say like, you get these amount of credits, and they'll, leverage a bit of, less on the interest rates. So they got many ways they can really like bring about this technology for it to be, romanticized for these people, man, for them to get over it being a bit freaky and a bit mad. All right. The chip is designed to be so strong it doesn't break inside somebody's body, and that's right, because when they sit that film that's around the chip, they're saying when it goes inside your flesh, it basically becomes one with your flesh. Okay, but they even say there's people that have got cancer from having the chip. Okay, the couple has a 10-month-old daughter called Poppy, and Northam wants her chipped as well. He added, "I would potentially let Poppy have it done down the line if she wants it done. I certainly don't have an issue with it." And they also have an incentive, an article where they're saying that they must, I believe it was a TV report, that they're going to chip everyone's children. Okay, so that's another incentive they have that's being run very soon. Like the same way 2016 they said chipping of dogs was mandatory by law. If your dog ain't chipped, then basically by law they can take your pet from you. He added, Northam from Otterbourne said that while it was fun gimmicks, the chip is also a major breakthrough for the medical world. And that's going down to the medical market as well. He said, "We've been developing this for probably a year now, and I had one implanted 6 months ago. I was the guinea pig and driver behind it. I teamed up with a friend who's a doctor, and he implanted it. The chips are manufactured in the Far East but sterilized here, and we have about 30 people sign up so far." Alright, and it says the contactless chip is stored in a sealed glass tube, which has been. Let me read that again. It said a contactless chip. Now, when you go into any of these stores anywhere, what are people using? The form of technology that's been out for a while, man. RFID, NFC technology. Inside of your cards, like over here, you got the Oyster card, which you use for public transport in London. Okay. And a lot of you can't buy no paper. You can buy paper tickets as of now, but you're getting overcharged if you do buy that. So you might as well just get an Oyster card, and then you get all the benefits of a discount. But then even more so, they've done it where if you use your banking card, you get better discounts on that, using that as contactless technology. But that's why they perpetuated it out there to the people, because they want to get them on this cashless society. You go into any store, you got the people using their credit and debit cards to basically pay for everything. Okay, the contactless chip is stored and sealed in a glass tube which has been put through heavy impact testing using pork meat to ensure there's virtually no chance of breaking once implanted. Okay, Mr. Northam said the company is planning surgeries around the UK to get people and businesses using it. So they're saying, they're really going to start making a push to get the technology out there, because he said, look, the company is planning surgeries around the UK to get people and businesses using it. So they're going to make a real push from now on. And this article is the initial push, man. What did it say at the top of the article? It said, Steve the Cyborg, an inventor, has fitted himself with an implant which replaces car keys, and he says the future is here. So if the future is here, it ain't going away. They're going to keep pushing it to the masses of the people. Okay? So the chip and the implant procedure will set people back between 230 and 260 per person, while complete offices where employees can access doors and use equipment will cost upwards of £5,000. That's a lot of money. And you know, they're probably another, you know, that's one way. But then, you know, it's prophesied that there will be pestilences on the earth. So, if like, for example, the movie I Am Legend, when they had everything going down with the crypto virus, I believe it was called, basically, because that doctor basically found a cure for cancer, and then it basically mutated and turned everyone into zombies. They had everyone, when they were vetting the people to get off the island of, you know, of Manhattan, I believe it was, they basically were scanning them to see if they were allowed, and they're scanning them in the face. They possibly could have had the RFID technology, and that's why they were scanning them to see if they were good to go. Okay? So that would be an incentive, you know, once you get the cure, you know, really you might have to have that money just to get that cure. Okay? That might be an incentive. Or they got you on a short list, or, you know, however Esau's going to do it. He said one business in Andover is now arranging for 6 employees to have the technology fitted for work. The implants work using both radio frequency identification, RFID, and near-field communication, NFC, technologies, much like those used on smartphones, okay? So that may even pull your smartphone onto you. They may make some technological advances, and that'll be like the latest version of Total Recall with this guy from Ireland, man. He had a phone inside of his hand and he pulled it out. Okay, and that really was a play on the RFID technology. Northam, who is also founder and director of the business startup investment firm InQHive and a part-time business management lecturer at Winchester University, says skeptics fear that they could be used by governments to track citizens and bring about a 1984-style world of perpetual surveillance. And that's the reason why they're ultimately doing this, man. According to, because going to the Rothschilds, their founding father before, their founding grandfather, Moses Amshar Bao, was deep in the scriptures. He was a rabbi, okay? So they understood the scriptures. And Exodus 21 and I believe 6 basically goes into like, basically if you have a slave that don't want to leave your household, you basically put oil in their ear. And that's the same style of technology they're going to use to basically get the people with this RFID technology. Okay? So reading on, it says, however, no trackers are built into these chips. Now that's a lie, man, because they said the same technology found inside of the smartphones. The movie, okay, Enemy of the State with Will Smith shows you in the beginning that if you have your phone still turned on, how basically you're able to be traced. Now when you deal with this new phones, they basically have your phone battery. They said in the movie, they said the only way you can stop it is if you take the battery out of your phone. Now these new phones like the iPhone and these different Android phones, a lot of them, the newer up-to-date ones, they don't allow you to take the battery out without unscrewing it and taking it out and really messing with the interior workings of the phones. Okay? He said there are 2 demographics of people. There are those who think it's brilliant and those who think it's government taking control. And now he's marginalizing those people that are thinking the government are taking control. Really, ultimately in that day, those people that think the government are taking control are going to be labeled terrorists. Okay? And they're going to be the outcasts of society. it's going to be either you get down with a chip or you get your head cut off. And we harvest your organs and make money out of your death, basically. Because one of the Georgia Guidestones, the first commandment is to maintain humanity in perfect balance by keeping the population under 500 million. So they're trying to kill people. So anyone that's bucking up against the New World Order, they're taking you out, man. That tends to be older people, but I remember parents worrying about the chip and pin and CCTV cameras. Give it 10 or 20 years and this will also be commonplace, okay? And basically, you know, like, that's really dealing with the millennials. You know, these new age people out here, man. They're basically assimilated to the society and ready to basically give over all their rights because they believe it's a good thing and leaps and bounds in society, okay? If someone wants to break into my house, they don't need my hand. They should just break a window. And if they want to steal a car, they are not going to chop your arm off. And that's true because they can just basically copy these technologies, okay? So with that, you know, the obvious scriptures, Revelations 13, you know, go